Beautiful party people. Welcome to another episode of the Whole Health with Rob Carney podcast. And this is a Solocast episode. It's been a little bit since I've done one of these episodes by myself, just talking with you and sharing the things that I love to talk about. I've gotten a lot of great feedback on the few short Solocast episodes I've done. I'm going to target these to be under 30 minutes. 15 to 20 is the preferable, but if you know me, you know that I can go off on some fun little tangents. So before we dive in today, I just want to share the topic. The topic is community, and community has obviously been a big piece of what I share right now. Is I find that community, whether that's online or in person, can fundamentally change the direction we're going in our lives. By surrounding ourselves with like-minded people, we are inspired and influenced in a positive way to embody change. So with that being said, we want to be very mindful with the communities we surround ourselves with, because they say you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people that don't inspire you, don't lift you up, and you don't want to be more like, then you may be in the wrong community. So before we do dive into that, if you haven't checked out my new revamped website, wholehealthconnects.com, I want to invite you to check that out. I got some free ebooks on there you can check out for stress relief, for sleep, for growing your own food. You can see all the other podcasts I've done on there, my favorite superfoods with a good discount on there for you. And a lot of the other fun things that are going on over there at wholehealthconnects.com. So check it out. And if you haven't tried my group coaching program, the Whole Health Community, which has been phenomenal so far, and it's just getting better every single week, you can join for free for your first 2 weeks. To check that out, shoot me a message on Instagram at wholehealthconnections.com to get your 2-week free trial today. So as it relates to community, let's just dive right in. Community has fundamentally changed my life, especially over the past few years. And, with all this craziness of COVID going on, I think it's made me very much aware of how essential community is, both in person and online. And so we have a group called Ice and Iron out here in Boston, which is basically a half-day wellness retreat. We start around 11 a.m., conclude around 3 p.m., and we move, we breathe, we get in ice, we get in saunas, we eat good food, we connect with other people, have good laughs, and just express our humanness. Explore human potential is really what we're about there at Ice and Iron. So that in person over the past almost 2 years at this point has been amazing. We've met so many like-minded people. We've connected with so many people. We've had so many success stories, people saying, this is the most connected they've felt in years. The first time they felt in tune with their body in years. First time they felt in tune with their breath in who knows how long. So a lot of these great testimonials come from being in this group environment. And now that's in person. I could talk about Ice and Iron all day, but this is the Whole Health Connections podcast, the Whole Health Rob Carney podcast. So community online, I think, is more reasonable for a lot of people these days, because I often get the complaints of, oh, that's cool that you can do Ice and Iron out there, but we don't have something like that around me. And first of all, there was nothing like that around us before we started this. Hence why we started this. We had this mentality of, if we build it, they will come. And that can be great if you know some people, you've got the resource available, and those things did work out in our favor. But for many people, you may be one of them, is that you may not have a community of people with interests like you in your immediate vicinity. You may not have the resources to start a group like that. And that's where I think that finding a group online can be incredibly powerful. So what are some of the benefits of community? We think of from an immunity standpoint, meeting in person, we're harnessing all the beneficial bacteria. We're able to read other people's energies, read body language, become better at interacting with people on a face-to-face basis. And online, we're able to share ideas and resources and habits of people that we may never meet in person otherwise. A lot of the people I've met in these online communities are a result of finding like-minded people online that I probably wouldn't have met in person. Because if I'm living here in Boston, somebody's in Arkansas, someone's in Wisconsin, someone's in California, someone's in Arizona, someone's in Germany, you get the picture. One is, it would be very difficult for us to all meet up in person at the same time and get the opportunity to connect with one another. So this really kind of breaks down the borders of where we can go, who we can connect with online. And if you've ever wanted to meet people from other states and meet people from other cultures, an online community is a great resource. Now, there's things like Facebook communities, which are a great place to start. Obviously, we have the Whole Health community, which I may be a little biased, I think is pretty darn good and a really good place to start with if you're really looking to improve your personal development, improve your health, and just overall quality of life. And many of the same principles of Ice and Iron, we're exploring our human potential in this online field. Um, then there's meetup groups you can find. There's plenty of different resources to work within. But just really want to emphasize how impactful community has been for me. All right. So what are some of the tangible benefits we can take away from being in a community of other like-minded people? So, like I mentioned before, is knowledge. You can learn about different places, different cultures, different people from the comfort of your home. You listening to this podcast right now, you are able to connect with me from the comfort of your home, the comfort of your car, your kitchen, and wherever you're at as you're listening to this, as you can be anywhere in the world and connect with people, learn from them. That's what is so incredible. The internet is we've broken down the barriers, like I was saying earlier, to really connect with people anywhere in the world, that we can learn knowledge from people that, one, may cost a whole heck of a lot more if we were to fly out to meet them, go through their intensive course and learn that way. But if we're able to meet in person or meet online, learn online, whether that's directly face to face online or listening to their content, joining their community, whatever the case is, we're able to learn knowledge from different cultures and different people. Now, connections, Whole Health Connections is the name of my business here. And the reason for that is one, the connection of how everything in, health is connected, hence holistic health is a holistic system that's constantly working together, but also connecting people, hence why we have the whole health community, connecting like-minded people so that we can move and groove and grow and flow together. And you're able to meet a lot of these like-minded people to have connections with, because who knows, maybe next time you go to Utah, you now have somebody you can hang out with. They can show you the ropes. And I can't even tell you how amazing it is to know that just about any state I go to right now, there are connections I have in just about every state that I feel comfortable saying, hey, let's link up, let's get together, let's do something, go for a hike, go for a whatever. And those connections are things that are very hard to do in person. So, community is great for connections. Like I was saying, inspiration. If you see somebody doing something inspiring to you, it's going to make you a lot more likely to want to do that yourself. If you see somebody doing something, it's like, oh man, that's cool. I wonder what that would be like if I implemented that in my life. Then you go ahead, start trying that. Now you're inspired. Now you're taking action. Now you're making improvements. And now maybe you then inspire the next person. So being around other like-minded people, being in a community, again, whether in person or online, allows us to be inspired. It gives us ideas. It gives us motivation. For instance, before I record this call, I've taken, as I'm recording this, I've taken the past about 10 days or so off from the gym, just let my nervous system reset. And I'm starting to get that point where my nervous system's feeling good, feeling recharged, feeling rebooted, feeling revitalized and ready to go. And saw somebody online working out. It inspired me. Now, after I finish this recording, I'm going to move my body. I'm going to get myself pumped up. I'm ready to get back to it. And that's the power of community, being inspired by other people. And that kind of relates to the next part, which is the resources. Maybe this person you're talking to shares a podcast, a book, a movie, a show that absolutely changed your life. Without a connection, without a community, you may not be able to access those resources so readily available. And then, the fifth one I'll kind of just outline here on this brief little episode here today is support. So I know it can be easy if you're sitting there and you got some challenges going on, not really sure what to do next. Maybe you don't know what your purpose is. Maybe you don't feel great. Maybe you don't know why. Whatever the challenge you're going through is when we have this community, we have support. And not just to have somebody to talk to and for somebody to share their experience with or to give us help, but just to let us know we're not alone in that regard. We had a group call last night where we did some breakout rooms and people were sharing. So I was kind of going in between, just kind of making sure everybody's on track with the topic at hand. And, a lot of the common things I was hearing was, I'm really glad you said that because I've been feeling the same thing. Oh, man, that really hits home. That hit the nail on the head. That resonates with me. And we hear that. We hear somebody else affirm, hey man, I'm going through that too, or hey gal, I'm going through that too. And that makes us realize that, we really don't have any unique problems or challenges. We're all going through a very similar human experience. And yeah, they're different in their own facets, but they're also very similar. And so having that support, that may be the biggest piece of all, is being supported. I look at it as humans have evolved this far because we're great at collaborating, we're great at working together, we're great at building tribes and communities and cultures. But most recently, with the emergence of technology, we've become very, creatures of solitude. And I can do it by myself. This whole idea of I don't need help, I can do it by myself. And wearing that as a badge of honor, which, of course, there's many benefits to being self sufficient. But at the end of the day, it's definitely not a sign of weakness to ask for help. That's for damn sure. And it's also not a sign of weakness to want to be around other people or to, crave the connection with other people. So having that community support, hearing me too. I've been feeling that same way too. Here's what's worked for me. Being around like-minded people, surrounding yourself with the community may not seem like that big a deal, but if you find the right community for you that works, that clicks, that resonates, that hits home, it can absolutely change your life. It's changed mine. I can say that with 100% certainty. Being around the right people has absolutely changed my life. I was hanging around with some of the old high school friends I had who were, not doing the most productive things. And, I was doing a lot of the same things. So it's not like I blame them or hold anything against them. Just a different path. We've kind of, grown separate ways, and that's okay. But when I was hanging around with them and they're drinking, smoking, playing video games, eating crappy food, I love to have a drink every so often. I love to have a good smoke every so often. I like to eat some crappy food every so often. I like to play video games every so often. When all those things are put together on a regular basis, that's not really what I want to be doing. And going from that to being surrounded by people who are moving their body, they're exercising, they're eating healthy, they're focusing on their breathing, getting the best water, growing their own food. My whole perspective changed. It's not like I'm not the odd man out anymore. Now it's like, I'm one of the people, I'm one of the crew. So I really want to challenge you, invite you, if you're not a part of a community already, do some searching. Like I said, I'd love to have you try out the whole health community for 2 weeks for free. See if it works for you. If not, cool. No worries. Maybe you're looking to build a business. The Purium community is a fantastic community using organic, non-GMO superfoods with a company that's going plastic free to share the message of health and build some wealth doing it, health and wealth. So depending on what you're looking for, I'd be more than happy to share some of the communities I've been working with that have really been supportive to me. If you're local to Boston, Ice and Iron, or if you want something different, also totally open to sharing anything else I can think of or checking out those Facebook groups like I mentioned or meetup.com or any of these other places. But whether it's working with one of the communities I work with or finding a new one, just really want to encourage you after listening to this, find a community, get yourself connected with like-minded people. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this little mini solo cast. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you supporting. If you haven't already, subscribe to this, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Spotify. Please, like, share, subscribe, all the cool stuff that really helps support me and allow me to have the time freedom to share more of these messages. Because the more that you can share this message, the more that I am allowed to or able to help more people, and hopefully we can connect more people to the place they need to be. So thanks again for listening. Have the best day ever. See you on the flip side.